My city and state never ever seen this. You new trying, I'm a young boy genius. On the futon, I'ma give it that beat up. When it's done, I'ma fill up arenas. Ooh, like Gilbert Arenas. Shoot my shot, I'm still with the demons. Ooh, I keep it thorough. I got 5 chicks in New York, that means one in each borough. I'm in the pocket like Pearl. When I'm back home, no, they treat me like Robert De Niro. Took her to talk about powder and churro. Took her home, gave her a cinnamon swirl. I left it in, now I got her €1. Zeros on zeros on zeros. That's what my bank account balance say.
Right.
I got a check from the
We are. Which week is this? Is this week 12? Week 12 PML midday fantasy podcast. Today, I'm joined by Jared and Preston.
Woo! Everybody's favorite combo.
Actually, week 13.
Well, that's true. It is. We're in the middle of week 13.
Well, week 13 starts tonight.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, there's no Thursday night games, right? So it starts on Sunday. What am I saying?
Yeah. So, I guess we just dive right in, unless you guys, is there anything on your guys' mind you wanted to get off? Normally we start off talking about work or bowel movements, but unless you guys had something.
I don't understand why it's so impossible to get a PS5. I know that has nothing to do with fantasy, but maybe one of you guys has a tip or something like that. I'm not going to pay $1,000, to get it from some scrub scalper.
I'm pretty pissed off about it too. I want one real bad. I was supposed to. I wanted to buy one like when they came out, and I've got boned on the pre-orders. Every time they've launched separate ones, I just get screwed over and over again. It sucks. I want one. I'm tired of Xbox Life.
Yeah, so I'm normally an Xbox guy, but it just seems like it's better, and plus I really want to play Spider-Man.
I want to play Spider-Man so bad, and God of War, and basically all of their exclusives that I have been left out on for 10 years.
Hey, it's legit when me and Preston both agree on it.
I know. You better get your hand on one of these things.
Well, I guess Krebs did it. I don't know what he did, but
I don't know if he got it. He said he did like some bundle on GameStop, but then GameStop has been real sketchy about, like, they haven't released like a shipping date.
That's good.
At least that's the last I've heard of it.
So he spent the money on one. He doesn't have one, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
he could have just lost $500 or $700, whatever it was.
It's probably $800 or $900 because they make him get all this extra shit.
I think he only had to buy like 3 games and an extra controller or something. So that could be at least
that
6.
adds up, man. And like some of them are like with the headset, and they can really.
Yeah, I think most of the bundles from GameStop are like $800, but they came with a bunch of games or something. Like you could sell off the stuff you don't need, like the webcam and stuff like that. Although maybe Max wants the webcam to take up his new career of streaming full time. We should be supportive of that.
I have seen you can sell the box, the PS5 box. You can sell it on eBay for about $500. So there's an idea.
Box?
Yeah, just say PS5, and then charge $500.
He's just joking.
No, I like that. I think
I'm serious. Do it. Scam some idiot parents. Make them spend all their Christmas money on fucking cardboard. So for all 2 of our listeners that aren't on this podcast, we're using Zoom, so maybe the audio quality is better. I don't know. We'll see how the MP4 turns out, but you guys can see my screen share. Correct? Yes?
Yeah.
We can see your screen.
Okay. So, looking at the scoreboard for this past week, we're not going to start with that game. Let's find a good game. Here you go. Jared, you want to talk about this? Jared versus Evan. Scored 102 and lost. I know how that is, buddy.
The good thing is I didn't really need the win. I'm already in the playoffs. So, and
that's
I don't
a good
even know
attitude.
If it really would have affected seeding so much. I pretty much did the best I can do. Maybe I don't think there's any kind of lineup changes I could have made that would have made a difference. I don't remember. The big thing is freaking Duke Johnson. I start him 2 weeks, he sucks, and then I bench him, and then he balls out.
That's how that works.
It's like, what the fuck, Duke? Like,
yeah, but you were never going to start him over Kamara or even Devontae Parker. Nah. I would have started Devontae Parker against the Jets over Duke Johnson.
I figured you get a nice floor. I mean, Parker's going to get at least 4 or 5 catches.
I knew they struggled. I didn't realize Kyler Murray stunk it up. I knew they lost, but dang, 8 points against the Patriots.
The tidbit on that was if you can limit Kyler Murray scrambling, he's really not that great.
And he still got Cannon.
Yeah. No, I think he's good. That's just what I read.
Yeah.
I didn't really see the game.
Still a very impressive win by EB. I mean, Derrick Henry and James Robinson are probably going to win in the league.
J-Rob has got to be the MVP, considering like where people pick him up.
Oh, yeah. Fantasy MVP.
Like for ADP. I mean, for someone that doesn't even get drafted to be like a top 5 back, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. I think in both of – he might have been drafted in hashtag our other league. Yeah, but he was – EB picked him up on waivers like the week before Fournette got cut. Because I remember when Fournette got cut, I went to the waivers and saw that whoever the other guy was available, but Robinson wasn't. And I was like, well, if Robinson falls out, and I picked up the other guys.
Has he had a bad week? He seems like Ezekiel Elliott his rookie year. It's like every week it's like 100 yards or a touchdown. See if I could be off, but seems like
he has 3 games of less than 10, and most of them are at least 15. A lot of 20-pointers. He's
just insane. What's his ranking overall?
Oh, just closed it. He's 4. Yeah. So
I mean,
if you get RB4 off the waivers, you're probably gonna win.
And your other RB is like RB1.
This is a stupid game. I hate it. This is so dumb.
RB2.
RB2. Yeah, you got 2 of the top 4 backs. I mean, and Kyler Murray's probably top 2 or 3.
That's ridiculous.
So.
Yeah. Not much you could have done here.
I took some notes here. I don't think anyone's ever gotten a 12-1 record in our league.
Fuck no.
Anyone? No way.
I think the best anyone's ever done is we might have had a 10-3 one year. There's no way anyone's had more than 10 wins in our league.
This is like the most dominant thing I've ever seen in our league.
It's ridiculous. I don't even know who his 1 loss is to.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see who got him.
It's definitely me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I remember.
You beat him?
No.
Oh,
it was to Wick.
Yeah.
And Wick had 150.
Well, I mean...
Jesus.
And he still scored 117. So
117
should win.
Evie has only scored under 100 twice, and he won both times.
Yeah. A lot of luck, but mostly his team is just really fucking good. All right.
His defense.
Oh, this was a good game. This is Kevin and Tilka. God, this is the Mahomes Tyreek stack could not save Kevin from literally the rest of his team.
If Tyreek had just kept playing like he did in the first quarter, Kevin could have come all the way back and won.
I told you, man. He's not. He'll never be Quadri-Ismail. He'll never be Quadri-Ismail. It's sad. What a bum. Yeah, I can't. Again, I said it in the group meet, but under 4 points from a quarterback, and you still score 140.
That's crazy.
Tilka's team is pretty fucking scary. Although Will Fuller's now gone, at least for the fantasy year. Dang, even had Cooper on the bench.
Who comes in for Will Fuller? Will Fuller.
Kevin is probably going to hate me that I'm going to say this, but he's probably not even going to listen, so it doesn't matter. But I actually texted Tilka like late Saturday night that he needs to put in Cam because Tua's out.
Wouldn't have made a difference.
I just love doing little things like that. It's like it's building up equity, so when I want to make a trade, he actually listens.
Oh, okay. So now we know how Jared operates. He just shared that with the whole league.
Well, it's just in life, like if you do a lot of favors, it's kind of like you got one in the bag if you really need it. It's just
that's a good way to think about it. Yeah, sure.
I've only ever done it this year. I did it once when Baxter was playing Max, and it was when Max and I were like I think I was 6th and he was 7th. And I told Baxter Aaron Jones is out. And I don't know. I don't know if it made a difference. I tell
Baxter stuff all the time. He's like, give him the pass because of med school.
I have figured out this year that Craig and Max schedule their entire fantasy rosters around beating each other. Max has literally proposed me trades, and he's like, I will take this trade for you if you wait 1 week because I'm playing Craig this week. Or you have to do it this week because I'm playing Craig this week. Or, like, has Craig offered you any trades and shit like that? Just, like, they operate their entire livelihoods around the status of each other. It's really
I will say, I have not done that. The only time I've planned to trade around a matchup was with the Tilka trade I made with Lamar, which at best it's a push, I guess. But at the time I was like, I don't want to give him Kenny Golladay the week that he plays the Falcons. But I did it anyways just because I didn't want someone else to get Lamar. So. There's an Iron Bowl mentality, I think, with Krebs, where if you told him that he could just not take the ACT, but he'd miss the playoffs, but every single one of his wins would come against Craig, I think he would really think about it for a while. He did say I swept him this. I don't know if we played twice. I think we only played once, but I beat him. So, speaking of, let's just jump to whatever game Krebs played. Oh yeah, he actually beat Luke. Luke choked. Yikes. Luke's almost locked for a bye. So
that Josh Jacobs performance really hurt.
John Gruden fucking hates Josh Jacobs. That's like watching the game. If you watch Raiders games, it's like 3rd and 2 inside the 40, and he runs like a fucking fullback dive or like crossing routes. On the goal line, even he'll throw to the fullback before he just gives Josh Jacobs 3 straight carries.
He calls plays like Tilka, where he's just going to run curls over and over again.
He does have rugs. I mean, I don't blame him. Yeah, I mean, even without, the Browns D against the Jags, that's a bad beat. But even without those two, he had a pretty mediocre week. Devontae Adams did okay. Josh Allen did not as good as he should have. Max probably had his best week he's had in a long time, too. Deshaun, DK. Will Dissly with 0 points. Still got the win. Good job, Krebs.
Wow. I don't know how easy this is to figure out, but what were the highest fantasy scorers on the Broncos team this week? Was it Phil Lindsay? Just because they had that one good play?
I think Melvin Gordon had 15 carries for 16 yards or something like that. I'm not even kidding. I think I saw that.
Fred's pulling up stats here.
And it's funny, it flip-flopped this week. So, last week we had, the Taysom Hill debacle, where this week you could actually start that practice squad receiver Kendall Hinton in Yahoo.
Yeah, except he went 1 for 9.
If you did, he actually had negative points.
Yeah, the 2 picks would have put him in negative points.
There's definitely a difference between practice squad wide receiver and Taysom Hill.
I know, but if you tried to do that on ESPN, you couldn't. You had to play him at QB.
I think ESPN learned their lesson, and I think Yahoo was trying to catch on the action.
Yahoo did the opposite because they got it right with Hill, but not with this one.
So it looks like, I guess Philip Lindsay led the team in fantasy points.
Yeah, it looks like it.
If he only had 7, not bad, but...
What about Royce?
Royce finished with 5, I guess.
Lindsay had a bunch of receiving yards.
Yeah, they're not. I don't know why they're not showing up. Maybe he didn't.
Yeah, I think that's...
Because he was shown as a...
If you just look at who has Lindsay in fantasy and just see...
Well, Luke had Lindsay.
Yeah, it was Luke, which is what brought it up. I was trying to think if...
Yeah.
Oh, no, he only had 2. I was reading the projection line.
Me too.
Sheesh. Well, Max survives. I think we'll look at the standings later, but I think he's just out. He's 8th, so he's still outside of the playoff spot.
What's funny is you could tease the over in that game to 29.
The over was 29?
No, I'm saying you could tease it down to 29, 6 points.
Did you get to?
I thought about doing it, but my future father-in-law talked me out of it. But
did it hit?
Yeah.
Oh, it did hit. The over did hit.
I mean, you're never going to see a 29.
No.
Unless you like a blizzard, like tornado or something.
Sheesh. There were not a lot of good games this week in fantasy. Wick blew Preston out of the water. Sorry, Preston.
Terrible. Historically bad.
Look
Look at that Derek Carr start.
Oof.
Yeah. That was
Oof,
a last-minute decision over Carson Wentz.
It would have saved you,
I was
but
legit worried about Wentz actually like playing the whole game. So I was like, that's going to be embarrassing if I put in Wentz and he gets pulled. So I put in Derek Carr to get me 0.6 points. That was a much better alternative. Good job.
yeah. Unrelated, but I think Doug Peterson hates the Jalen Hurts pick, and that's why he's using him the way he is.
All right.
I don't know.
Good to know.
Anyways, we don't get into how much I hate the Eagles. My Aaron Rodgers trade is definitely looking like a huge L. I thought Darrell Henderson would become RB1, but he's not because Sean McVay hates me.
It was a risk. The Nyheim Hines pickup for me has been good, just considering my running backs have been a total shit show.
Yeah, Jared, what do we think of?
Just to remind everybody, took McCaffrey and Eckler, who both immediately went on IR, did a trade for David Johnson, who then immediately went on IR. So I really just cannot catch a break. Ridley has spent time on the bench. Pretty much every player that's in my lineup, with the exception of Rodrigo, the NFL's leading scorer, has spent time on the bench.
Preston, do you remember how much you spent combined on McCaffrey and
Eckler? 105 maybe, something like that. For McCaffrey, I got him for like 60, and then Eckler, I think, was like 44, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, not to mention, I bet. How much do you remember how much you spent on Ertz since he hasn't played since week 1?
15, I think. I mean, that was a lot.
That's not bad.
That's a lot for a tight end. I mean, there's only like 3 tight ends in the league worth over $10, right? So that's a lot for a tight end.
Craig, how do you think Ertz is going to do coming off IR?
Honestly, we should have fucking traded him week 1. I'm not going to say he sucks. He'll pick it back up, but he tanked his value just being hurt and looking bad the first 2 weeks. So
I've got 3 Eagles on the bench. I didn't even realize that.
I know. That's why your team sucks.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Carson Wentz?
He's fucking broken. Clowney scrambled his head.
Oh.
Here's another. This is the last shitty matchup. Was me and Baxter. I scored 111, so I should have won. But him only scoring 60, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
0. I mean, he had
off so hot this year.
That Colts D performance. Oof.
For 3 players, Boyd, Slayton, and the Colts D, 3 playing spots, he had negative 3.5 points. That won't win you anything. Not even with Ronald Jones.
I almost got Ronald Jones from Max. I was very close.
I know.
How do you decide between starting AP or Swift?
Well, the last 2 weeks it's been easy because Swift has been hurt.
Yeah.
He got a concussion like 2 Thursdays ago in practice. He got a concussion. And, it's like, okay, hold him out because it's Sunday. And then they held him out for Thanksgiving. It's like it's been a week. How bad could a concussion be that you got in practice? But now, I think since like week 5, Swift has definitely been the RB1. Whereas like the first 4 weeks, I think at least there were 2 games that I started both Swift at RB2 and then Peterson at flex. So they combined to make one running back. But
hey,
now,
can you pull up AJ Brown for me?
He's very on and off.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I was curious about.
Let's see. Yep.
Wow, that is very on and off. Good Lord.
Well, it's not that it's not on and off as much as like when he's on, he's good, and when he's off, he's just like fucking terrible. So I mean,
well, that's what on and off is.
Well, he has a touchdown in every game he's played in except for 2, and he was out for 3 weeks. That's pretty good.
yeah, the out for 3 weeks was pretty bad, but I mean, one of those was a COVID bye. I'm just saying it's not as 50-50 as you'd think. It's not like he's like he has 3.9, 8.4, and 2.1, and then everything else is over 12 points.
He also does that on not a lot of receptions.
They really need to target him more.
Yeah, 4 receptions for 98 yards and a touchdown this past week. That's kind of nuts.
That touchdown he had against the Colts, it was fucking ridiculous. Like, he was at like the 6-yard line with 2 dudes tackling him, and he powered his way into the end zone.
I saw that. That was
a large boy.
Absolutely dirty.
Boy.
So
Have
yeah.
you ever seen like the Angry Runs videos from NFL Network? I think he won on that run.
Yeah. So here are the standings going into the last week. Are there any playoff matchups going this week? I know Baxter plays EB, which if he loses, it'll probably knock him out.
I think the top one is Krebs and Wick.
Let's jump to the scoreboard.
Don't you love how on ESPN they still don't put this week's matchup? Like you have to go to the schedule to see it.
They wait until after waivers.
Slow. Yeah.
So Tilka needs to beat Preston and EB needs to beat Baxter to make the playoffs, which, no offense, Preston, both of those seem very likely to happen.
Yep.
If Jared can upset Luke, that might give him a bye, but I think his PF is too low. Do you know, Jared?
It makes a difference.
In the standings, I don't know why they have 2 standings tables, but whatever. Yeah, you're behind by about 60 points. No. Yeah, 60. So, unless you outscore him by a shit ton, maybe you can steal a bye. But right now,
I don't have the capability to outscore anyone by 60.
No.
Maybe Preston or Kevin.
I could steal this 3 seed from you, but you won't finish lower than 4.
Can we do a quick preview of the 9-10 matchup just to anticipate what end of year is going to look like? I want to know in how much jeopardy I'm actually in.
Well, I play Kevin, so Kevin. I should win.
Is McCaffrey going to come back? That's what decides it for you.
It's ridiculous how much he's been out. Honestly,
he's probably
you'll probably win.
He's probably not going to come back.
Yeah, you kind of wonder. It's not like they're fighting for a playoff spot.
Right, so why bring him back?
But Mike Davis actually has been pretty decent. So.
Davis hasn't been bad, but he's not McCaffrey.
Right. I mean, it might be an extra 5-10 points you get. You got McCaffrey.
Right. I'm a little scared.
I mean, Kevin's team, I don't know. Kevin's team is just so hit or miss with, unless you hit a really bad Tyreek Hill week.
Who are the Chiefs playing in the week that Kevin and I would potentially play for the last place game? That's the real kicker right here.
So they play Denver. He plays New Orleans. New Orleans not a bad defense.
That's a good defense. It's better than all the other options in Denver, Miami, and Atlanta.
But they are playing a really good offense, so he might have to throw the ball a shit ton.
That's fine.
So we do loser final week 15?
Yeah.
Okay.
The losers bracket is 2 weeks. The playoff bracket is 3.
Gotcha. You want to go into the matchups for the week?
This is what I have up right now. So it's me and Kevin, which I should win. I'm going to hold on to Benny Snell until they clear James Conner from COVID. I guess we can look at the matchup. Again, I'm honestly not sure. Oh, I'm not going to play an ad. Get out of here, ESPN, you bums.
My dumb question of the day is, I don't even know who Mbappe is. I'm guessing he's a other football player.
He's a French soccer player. He's
football.
He's a socialist football player. Yeah, he plays for PSG in France, so he's one of Kevin's favorite players.
And he
So
sucks.
why does he suck? Is he just having a down year?
No, I won our bet with Kevin because Indy beat Green Bay, and it was the first name he suggested.
And he just keeps it up. Normally we just do that for a week.
Nah, you should keep it.
Nobody tell Kevin.
Yeah, he's probably
he won't
just
listen
too
to this.
lazy to change it.
The last time I did a name bet, it was with Krebs, and Krebs had to keep it through the whole regular season. And it was like week 5. So honestly,
I'd be down for a name bet, but I don't want to do it against Luke because I'm going to lose.
I might jinx myself with this, but I have Lamar Jackson, who could be out because of COVID against Dallas, which good matchup. But again, COVID. And I also have Tom Brady on bye. I kind of want to tempt God and the fantasy gods. And if Lamar Jackson's out, I might not pick up a quarterback and see if I can still beat Kevin. Because as it is,
Fitzmagic. Is he on waivers?
Probably, but
I think I'm going to pick him up in our other league just for the hell of it.
Hashtag in our other league.
Yeah.
But anyways, just something to keep an eye on for anyone who cares. Next matchup is this is Wick and Max. Wick, I think also needs to win in order to avoid missing the playoffs, but he is ahead of Baxter, so he could be safer. Aaron Rodgers.
What I noticed with this is that Wick has got the kicker monopoly with Tucker and Butker, yet Krebs has no kicker.
That's why he did that.
That bastard. See, everyone just lines up their stuff just so they can beat Max. I don't think I've ever beaten Max in like 5 years.
Oof.
It's fucking bullshit. I don't know why I always suck against him.
Well played, Wick. There was a post on Reddit that was like, I picked up, I forget what the exact situation was, but this guy had a post where he was like, I picked up a backup running back when I saw this other running back was out, and my whole league is getting on me because they're saying it's not sportsmanlike. And all the comments were like, fuck that. Play the waivers. Deshaun Watson just lost his best receiver. Eckler's back. Miles Sanders never gets the ball. DK Metcalf is good. Noah Fant is better than Aaron Rodgers. At least that's what Max says. But I see Wick winning this one. Even if Max can find a kicker. Anything to add?
Nope.
Jared Bear, you still with us?
Yeah, sorry.
All right. Next game. This is you, Jared. You want to chime in on this one?
Yeah, let's see.
What are your chances?
So, probably not great because Taysom Hill won't stop fucking up Michael Thomas and Kamara.
Is he still playing? Oh, well, I guess Breeze is out. I don't know. How long is Breeze out?
Breeze only has 11 broken ribs.
Only? It's like half of them.
It's like he found ways to break more ribs by just doing nothing. Basically, I've got the flex quandary between Devontae Parker, Jonathan Taylor, and Michael Thomas. And whatever one I pick, the other two are going to go off. That's just how it works. But I would love to start Michael Thomas. I just don't really think they'll let Taysom Hill throw the ball, and I don't even know if he can hit, 7-yard slants, even if he's given the opportunity to throw the ball.
Yeah, I would say.
Also, the other problem is whenever the Falcons are out of playoff contention, they turn into the all Madden
they're immediately contenders.
Fire your head coach. Go 7-1.
Hey, let's just beat a team 41-6 who almost beat the Chiefs the week before.
Yeah.
So whatever you want the Falcons to do, they do the exact opposite.
That's what Wick says about the Bengals.
It's a terrible existence.
The Falcons are like the new Bengals. So, that's pretty much it. And the other thing is, I just think it's really funny that Luke's starting Deontay Johnson because it's who's going to be the Steeler wide receiver of the week?
Yeah, I know we're gonna get to mine in a second, but Juju has just been so unbelievably disappointing. I don't know. I have some lineup questions when we get there.
Maybe we can help you out. Give you some mercy here.
Yeah, please.
Jared, you seeing what I'm seeing?
Craig is flipping back and
Get
forth
the fuck
between
out of here.
99
What's
and
the point totals right now? I can't see it.
Taylor has 96.5.
Yeah.
Oh, and Hines has 95.
Jesus.
So if Hines, I mean, I don't know.
It's a good comeback.
Taylor could have COVID again.
I swear to God, it really has been an up and down battle for the year.
It's been very back and forth. This will be a fun one.
Give him like 20 carries.
I think yours and Luke's is the game of the week, especially because it's for a bye too.
Yeah, I don't think it matters the game, but it is probably the top ranked matchup.
This is Tilka's pseudo win and in. Not to jinx anything. Knock on wood. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm sure something's going to happen here with waivers. He currently has an empty spot at tight end.
So I'm wondering about Jarvis Landry at Tennessee or Juju at Washington. Both of those are terrible. I know neither of them are good.
Juju had a good game last week.
Yeah.
That's a toughie. I couldn't tell you. I would kind of lean Jarvis.
That's what I'm thinking.
But it's very much a toss-up. I mean,
well, click Jarvis Landry. Let's see how he's done for the year.
He's not done well for the year, but he had a good week last week.
It's kind of like chasing returns, like in the stock market. Like he has not
done well.
He had a great week, but besides that, he's just sucked the whole year. Besides week 4. So
yeah,
I would start Juju if I were you.
Jared might be right, Preston. He might have a higher floor, which is what you need.
Yeah.
You might have a better argument if we were PPR because Landry just is like the king of like 5 catches.
PPR king.
Yards, but it's just I don't think in a standard league you want to do that.
Him and Michael Thomas. Except Jarvis Landry knows who he is, and Michael Thomas thinks he's the best wide receiver in the fucking league.
Baker Mayfield, I don't know if you saw this play. There was a guy running a slant, and what's his name? Kareem Hunt running like a route, and they were both like wide open approaching the end zone, and he like missed both of them. He like threw it over their heads like by 10 feet. You see that play?
No.
Oh my God. I'll have to find it to put it in the group me. But it was like one of the worst like overthrows I've ever seen in the NFL.
All right, what are we looking at now?
This is Baxter and Wick. Baxter, this is a win and in for Baxter. Oh, sorry, not Baxter and Wick. Baxter and EB. Sorry.
Yeah, but you're on the wrong week.
Win and in, but Baxter currently 2 players on bye. And even after he replaces them, he's probably projected to lose by at least 15.
Gosh.
Julio is a question mark. And I guess his running back would be Singletary?
How come you're showing Baxter versus EB on this?
Because that's what this week's matchup is.
Oh, it is. What am I saying? Sorry.
Wow, look how close their last matchup was. Baxter lost by less than a point.
That's crazy.
Rematch. And this was when they were both 1 and 2.
Do you think that Baxter would remember to bench Ronald Jones if none of us said anything?
I don't know.
I would take the over on that.
He's been good about setting his lineup, but I mean, I don't know how busy he is with real world stuff. He's definitely more busy than me, who is obviously recording a podcast at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
He's trying to save the planet right now.
He's fighting COVID. EB should win. And Baxter needs a big upset.
The question is, like, this is kind of like a moral or ethical question, but What if EB just decided to just rest all his players and just give Baxter like a dub?
Nah, that would be so cheap.
I feel like that's explicitly laid out in our league bylaws that you
can't lay down.
Yeah, you absolutely should. Like, I know we don't have a rule, or if Max always talks about there was an understanding, but you absolutely
like a baseball rule.
You should be trying to score as many points as you can every week. That whole like backdoor Tilka shit.
Shit like that.
If that happened to Tilka, where EB was just like, I'm just gonna bench Derrick Henry, Kyler Murray, and James Robinson.
But if we had a rule that said you should be trying to score as many points as you can every week, then shouldn't we have punished Jared for not submitting an NHL bracket?
We did. I mean, we awarded him a 0.
I kind of got punished by losing the league.
That's true. That's a pretty good punishment. Okay.
Look, I got to live with that. I may never win the league.
Choked. Such a choke. I should have known Preston was going to mention it. God, you guys are great.
Well, the one side thing I wanted to mention with this is one of my friends in one of his leagues, what they do for all their dues is that they just put it in like an investment account, and then no one gets it until someone has an undefeated season, and then they just get it all.
Holy fuck.
Let me guess, Jared gets to manage that account.
Oh, Jared's going to hold the money.
Yeah, let me guess. Everybody just write your check to Jared real quick.
It's not one of my leagues, just a friend of mine. I just think that's insane. Not saying we should do it. It's just imagine if
knowing our league, somebody would go undefeated in like 10 years, and they'd go back, and somebody will have if we give all the money to Craig, then Craig had a really bad day at the horse track, and there's no more money in the account.
Some fingers are going to get chopped for that. Be 3-finger Louie.
There's no honor in this league.
Well, you're at least with ACTs. Jesus Christ. We're speaking, which is a great segue to the next matchup, where if Kevin loses, he's going to have 3 ACTs. I looked it up. You can take the ACT up to 7 times a year. So,
so you're saying really
pushing it there.
You're saying
the maximum amount of times you can take the ACT is 12. I don't know if that's a lifetime number or what, but
a lifetime number.
We might have to switch standardized tests if he just keeps this up over the years.
That's crazy. If the college board eventually was just like, nah, you're not getting into college. You're too dumb.
You're not taking any more ACTs. I mean,
we are tired of taking your money. That's how stupid you are.
You should really do as many as you want. I mean, they're just making money every time he does it.
That's true. Why can't you just keep taking it as long as you want? I thought this was America.
But anything else? Oh, here's my dad pun of the day. I hope Swift gets the Lions' share of the carries.
Clever. I agree. But Preston just left.
Off and walked away. I know you can't see that, for all you podcast listeners.
That's a pretty clever one, Jer Bear. I like it. I love Swift. I think he's underrated.
I'd never heard of your kicker, but then I looked him up and saw he was number 6 in the league. So it's like,
yeah, I don't know who dropped him, but I picked him up off waivers like Friday or Saturday, and I think he scored me 13 points or something.
Yeah,
he's great. Love the guy. Go Bills, right, EB?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think Zoom let me extend our time, but we're probably approaching the end of that too. Anything to? Oh, how do I see? This is how I know I'm a noob. Anything to add before we end the call here, Jared?
The last thing I wanted to mention is this is just a random thought, but I was watching the games the other day, and Mike Williams just gets he must get 0.1 yards per separation. Like every time he catches the ball, there's like a defender draped over him, and then he gets jacked up when he gets hit, and that's I think that's Wick's flex play.
Yeah, I don't know who has him, but
is that an actual stat?
He's Godwin and DJ Moore on the bench, or on buys. So that might be tough for him, having Mike Williams in that, and might lose it. Especially if the Eagles actually use their best offensive weapon in Miles Sanders.
Or Zach.
It'd be too obvious to give him carries, right? Like they asked him at I think Peterson at the end of the game. Like I think Peterson saw the box score stat sheet, and then his response is like, "We need to find ways to give Miles Sanders more touches." Like you just have to hand the ball off. It's not very hard.
I told Krebs when he was thinking about trading for him, I said, Doug Peterson hates running the ball. If we have 2 consecutive carries that don't gain at least 5 yards, he will abandon the run game. The Packers game last year was our best run game, and it was because Jordan Howard was just I think he averaged like 8 yards a carry that whole game. And we ran the ball, I think, 30 times, and that's the most he's ever done it. This year, 1, we're playing from behind a lot, and 2, he just gives up on the run game too quickly. So,
also, I played in a league where this guy started Richard Rodgers, and I almost got fucked.
Yes, you did.
That was some bullshit. That they went for 2, and they chucked up a Hail Mary I love that letter that was in the group me about how the NFL is rigged and all that shit.
That Hail Mary play made me lose hashtag in our other league. So whatever. All right. Preston, anything to end on?
Another successful year where I'm last in EPL, probably last in fantasy. I don't know why I keep giving idiots my money. It would be financially advisable for me to quit this league.
We'll have to do another. I wish you guys had done an EPL pod. God damn you. But
I'm clearly no authority to do one.
That's what I said.
I know.
I was like, let's just get Tilka.
I've been in last place every time.
My final thought is it seems like the 6th spot is between Baxter, Tilka, and Krebs, and I just pray to God that Krebs doesn't get in because I feel like he's going to make a run somehow if he does.
Don't say that. He already thinks that. Don't stroke that ego. All right. Well, hope you jerk off to this later, Krebs. You freaking delinquent. Good night, everyone.
Bye.